police know exactly what he's accused of doing, and they know he's hiding out in that suit. So now these officers have to make a decision. Are they really going to arrest Chuck E. Cheese, the
kids?
Charles Entertainment Cheese, at work in front of all these children?
I never knew that. Charles Entertainment Cheese? No, what did Chuck E. Cheese do? What's up? Today we're watching another video. Remember Chuck E. Cheese? He's in jail now. Why is he in jail? I have no idea, but let's go ahead and find out. I hope it wasn't associated with anything Diddy-esque. Let's do it. Ray William Johnson, everybody. 18.6 million subscribers. Okay, let's do it. Hopefully we can. Can we start it?
So, believe it or not, Chuck E. Cheese is going to jail. Now,
Alright,
this story starts
bro?
with this guy, Jermel.
what's up?
And Jermel is 41 years old, living in Florida. And, bro, he's got a bit of a rap sheet. Like, he's always in trouble. He's been to jail a few times. But around 2023, he decides to get himself a good job. A job he really enjoys. And despite his criminal past, he gets hired to work at a local Chuck E. Cheese. And he's not just working there, but he's actually the guy who wears the Chuck E. Cheese costume and he greets all the kids. I mean, he apparently has other jobs there too, but wearing the costume is one of them. And it seems like Jermel is pretty much staying out of trouble. But then, one day in 2025, that all changes. Because he's at work on this day and this woman comes in, Michelle. And Michelle is there because her kid is having a birthday party and I assume she organized it. Now, I don't know if Michelle leaves her debit card on the party table or what, but she leaves a debit card somewhere and she walks away. And then, allegedly, Jermel sees it, and he sees an easy chance to steal it. And so, boom, he does, allegedly. And I don't know if Michelle
knows. If there's one thing Chucky knows, is how to get to the cheese. Please don't steal. Please don't steal, kids. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody who's watching, please don't do it. But if there's anything Chucky knows, he knows how to get to that cheese.
Even notices that it's missing, but eventually she and her party leaves. While Jermel, he gets off work.
Look at him.
And over the next 2 weeks, he allegedly
he said, bro,
takes this card and he starts spending. He hits up a smoke shop, he hits up a grocery store, he hits up a meat market, a Circle K.
Why is the smoke shop the first one, bro? Come on, if you're gonna be stealing, you better be buying essentials. Again, don't steal. But if he was gonna be stealing, you better be buying essentials, bro. I don't want to see nothing else.
A Whataburger, all using Michelle's money. Sometime after that, Michelle must finally notice that her card is missing, and she checks her account, and she sees that someone made $105 worth of purchases.
What did it say? Cloud Smoke Shop, A1 Smoke Shop, Tony Mart, Time Saver 11, Neighbors Meat Market, Time Saver 11, Whataburger, Circle K, Decline Transaction, Don's Grocery and Meats, bruh, ASAP 2, what is that? That ain't even that much money though. Low key. Well, this was 2025? This happened recently? Where was he getting stuff for this low prices? What was he buying? This is not inflation calculated.
Over the past few weeks, and it wasn't her. Now, Michelle, she doesn't play around when it comes to these charges. She goes straight to the grocery store and asks to review their security footage. Once she reviews the footage from the day of the purchases, she sees none other than Jermel, who I guess she recognizes from Chuck E. Cheese. So Michelle goes back to the Chuck E. Cheese restaurant to confront him for taking her card, but I guess she decides that she wants backup. So beforehand, she calls the police and tells them to come to the place with her. Then she meets the officers in the parking lot and she tells them the whole story, and they go inside to get a look at the situation first and to make sure Jermel is there. And he is. He's there working, checking stamps. So police, they go back outside for a minute for something, to wait for backup or something, I don't
Still
know.
gonna be at
But when
Chuck E.
they go
Cheese,
back
bro.
in a few minutes later, Jermel is now dressed in the full mouse costume. And he's like out on the floor and he's saying hello to all the kids and whatnot. Now, it is speculated that Jermel saw the officers when they came in the first
he went to
time,
go
and he was
cover
like,
up.
oh shit, I gotta hide. And so, thinking fast, he puts on the mouse suit so that police won't recognize him. Well, know exactly what he's accused of doing, and they know he's hiding out in that suit. So now, these officers have to make a decision. Are they really going to arrest Chuck E. Cheese,
front of all the
the
kids?
Charles Entertainment Cheese, at work in
that's
front
his
of all
name?
these children?
I never knew that. Charles Entertainment Cheese? Charles Entertainment Cheese? In front of all the kids, man.
Having a good time playing skee ball or whatever.
That's not a
and
good look.
as the cops
They
are
gotta
walking
ask
up
them.
to the place,
They'd be
like
like, "Hey,
they
can we
talk
talk to you?"
about it.
It's gonna be him in the mouse suit.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh
they
my
knew.
god. We're gonna detain the mouse, dude.
We are.
Do it. I want you to.
They're
Go
ready,
around
bro.
and
They want to. They
Go
don't.
around.
You want me to come in front of the
Yes.
kids?
So that's it.
They
They
don't care. They
decide
wanted
they're
to
going to
smoke.
arrest this mouse.
Ma'am? Who's in the
course we
mouse
got
suit? Was it
the-
the gentleman that was just up here? Chucky's a little bit busy, ma'am. Chucky. Come with me, Chucky. Come on. Come with Chucky. Chucky, stop resisting. Stop resisting. You're being
front of the
detained.
kids.
Stop resisting. Let it go. Let it go. Do not
All the
proceed to
kids
yourself.
watching, bro, they like, hey, my goat.
And so
wanna hear
Chucky's
what the
been
kids are
busted,
saying.
and he's being let out of the building, and you can
Charles
hear
E.
some of the
Cheese,
parents
bro.
in the place get all upset.
You can let that man walk out the door, y'all know.
He's a criminal. What would you like to know?
I would like y'all to walk him out the door instead of traumatizing all these children, seeing somebody like Chuck E. Cheese. Would y'all
Yeah,
put Mickey
low-key.
Mouse in handcuffs?
I would fucking tase Mickey Mouse if I had the chance. But
Mickey Mouse. Nah, low-key, that's what I was gonna say at first. I was gonna say walk them down first. Like, just be like, yo, you don't have to do it out in front of everybody, because, like, the kids, like, honestly, I don't know why they hired him to do that, knowing his record, or if they knew his record. I don't even know what he went to jail for, but still, like, being around kids and stuff like that, like, there has to be a cool down period. Like, going from living that lifestyle to, like, being, like, you know, an important figure for the kids. There's got to be a cool down, you know what I'm saying? But at least walk them down. Just be like, hey, yo, can we talk to you for a second? And then they go get him out the suit. He changes, you know what I'm saying? And then he walks out in his normal clothing, and then they take him. That would have been calm. That would have been cool. But taking him out in the suit is crazy work. I kind of agree with that mom or the auntie or whatever.
I actually don't blame the parents for being mad. I'd be mad too. Like,
Yeah.
imagine you take your kid to Chuck E. Cheese for a birthday party,
And you see
and
that
they're
you
all
get-
excited, and the classmates
Wow.
from the kid's
Huh.
school are there, and they got cake and presents, and
And
suddenly
you just see bro get arrested in the middle of the day, bro. Like, yeah, they got a story, but at the end of the day, like, y'all foul for that.
they look over, and bam, Chucky himself is getting arrested.
Because at this point, you causing like public or like discourse. Because at this point, they don't know what he did, right? It's not like they're shouting out to everyone in the store, "Hey, we're only taking him for taking somebody's credit card." They don't know what he did, so running through the parents' minds is probably the worst thing imaginable. They're like, "Why are they taking him? He's always around all these kids. What could have happened?" Right? Y'all got to think about how y'all moving.
And all the kids are probably like, yay, is this part of the show? And then you gotta go and explain to them, like, no, Chucky committed a misdemeanor. Like,
Oh,
police
misdemeanor.
couldn't have waited until the end of his shift? Or
Yeah,
just, like,
low-key.
taken him back to the break room to change into his regular human clothes?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying,
give the
just
mouse
walk him
some
down.
dignity, come on. I mean,
Walk
like,
him
look,
down
this
or
arrest
something, bro.
causes a whole ass scene. Like, customers, they're all watching and taking photos.
Yeah, y'all
like, here's a
gotta be watching
photo,
how y'all
and if you
moving,
zoom
bro. He
all
does
the
not
way
care.
into the
That's
back,
the face of a dude
being
that
and
doesn't
taking
care. He's one of those
photos.
cops
Like, here's
that,
a
like,
photo.
He's one of those I'm a cop cops. Not like I care about the law cops. I'm a cop cop. They're two different, completely different things. There's the I care about the law cops that, like, they're doing the job because they like the job, they want to do the job, and they have an inner sense of justice that they want to uphold within the world, and be a part of that. Those are the cops that are doing a very excellent job, and I appreciate your service. This guy is probably not one of those cops. Now, I can't judge him too heavily. I don't know what his situation is, what he's got going on, but judging just from this situation, what I can see in front of me right now, it looks like he's an I'm a cop, which is just like, oh, I gotta flex on you. I got power over you. You did something wrong. Now I'm gonna make you look dumb. I don't care how it goes down. We're gonna get you how we need to get you type cop. Like, I don't care. I'm a cop. You know what I mean? I feel like he's that kind of cop.
Oh, and if you zoom all the way into the back, you can see the kids looking like, oh, what did Chucky do? Oh,
Yeah,
but the
bro.
best is this family. As he's being let out, if you slow the body cam footage down, you can see this little boy waving to him like, hi, Chucky. But then his mom is like, put your arm down. Chucky's a criminal. Anyway, so Jermel is getting led outside, and I swear to God, the manager comes out and he says, hey, we're gonna need that suit back. And the cop goes, well, we'll get it back to you next week.
We'll have to get back to you in
Crazy,
a second.
bro. See, now you're
Which
inconveniencing the store. Like, they won't even have the icon of the store there. Like, they can't even sub in and have somebody else take the suit. Now they're messing up business. Like, they're not even thinking. Come on, man.
Means that the suit probably got impounded. How are you gonna
The
impound?
suit- That's what I'm saying. You impounded the suit, bro. Now they gotta get a new suit. I don't know if they probably had extras or something, but still.
The Chuck E. Cheese suit like it's a brick of cocaine or something. Anyway, so outside, the police officers, they're trying to interrogate Jermel, and it's difficult because he's got this big-ass mouse head on. So they pull the head off so that they can frisk him and stuff.
Does this come off, man? Does this just come off the top? I want to hurt you.
I work
There
here.
you go.
I'm just
I
doing my
understand.
job.
I understand you work here.
What the f- is this about?
Yeah,
And
those
like
is- I'm a
bystanders
cop
are
cops.
filming all this
That
too,
didn't help.
because of course they are. Here's another angle of the same thing, and there they are taking the head off of him. And if you look, you can see they got the handcuffs on him with
Where
the big
was
mouse
this?
gloves. This is absurd. So now kids walking by can see Chucky's decapitated head on top of a police SUV. This is ridiculous.
It's a bad look,
Now
bro.
Jermel, he's not about to go down easy. He tells police that he did nothing wrong and that he's never uses anyone else's card.
Have you been using anyone else's credit card anywhere?
No, sir.
Have you been shopping lately with a credit card?
No, sir. Only card I use is my own Cash App. That's it.
But then,
Cat
as they
App?
keep interrogating him, he kind of changes his story and he says, oh, sometimes I borrow my cousin's card.
One of my cousins may send me with their card to go to the store here and there. That's it.
But unfortunately for him, police don't buy it.
I need my
This is a bad
notepad
look.
so I can write some information down. I'm gonna need your cousin's information.
I don't know none of the information.
You don't know the information, but they send you to this store with their credit card.
And they search him, and on him, they find Michelle's card and a receipt from one of his purchases in his back pocket. And I know you already saw the footage, but I gotta say
Take
it.
him out.
And
Take
so,
him out,
bam,
man.
they arrest him. Here's his mugshot.
Take
And the
him
case
out,
against
man.
Jermel
What's going
is
on,
still
bruh?
pending, and I couldn't find any updates beyond that. But, you know, I hope he figures himself out, because otherwise he's gonna spend a few years in the mouse cage.
The mouse cage is crazy. Why was he moving like that, bro? Why did... I want to know what his, like, previous charges were, though. Because, like, I'm kind of looking at that Chuck E. Cheese crazy. It must have been nothing crazy, right? It must have been just, like, drugs, like weed or something. Like, if he was in jail, probably, for them to be like, oh, okay, yeah, we can hire you. Because if he was out there, like, doing hard crimes, like crimes, there's no way they should have hired him. Let me see. Because he went to the smoke shop, right? So if I had to guess, it was probably for weed or something. But that was in Florida. So I don't know. But we're definitely going to watch another one real quick. Which one looks good? We got to get a second one to round out the video. YouTuber got life in prison? Whoa, why does that person look familiar? This lawyer went insane. Can you believe she's 14? This weirdo finally got caught. Is he really dead? Is he really dead? He trying to kill the president? I don't really want to watch one of the killing ones right now. I feel like, well, yeah, I don't want to watch one of the killing ones right now. He pretended to be in high school. Okay, let's watch this one. This will be funny. Because the killing ones, they can get kind of sad. Because, like, I don't like to be, like, watching that all the time. You know what I mean?
So this adult pretends to be a high school student so that...
Oh, I forgot to comment on the last video. I'm coming on this one. Hopefully it's a W video. It probably will be. If it's not, I'll delete the comment. Or we'll just wait till the end.
so that he can run on the track team? Now the guy's name is James, and James, he's a...
Today is so laggy, and I don't know why.
around 25 years old when this story starts, and he's living in California, and the dude seems to really love long-distance competitive running, like he used to do it back in his school days. And so one day, in 1985, he comes up with a crazy idea. Why not pretend to be younger and enroll in high school again so that he can run competitively again? What? So he enrolls as a student at a local high school, and he pretends to be 16 years old. And he gives them a name that he had stolen from someone else, and he gives them a whole bullshit elaborate backstory about how he's an orphan whose parents died. And the school admins, they feel sorry for him, and they believe him, and they're just like, all right. And so, boom, 25-year-old James is now going to high school.
Babyface?
And he does
I could
pretty
probably
well
do
there.
something like that.
Probably
I'm not gonna
because
lie. Like, people think I look pretty young. I could probably pass for like a high school senior if I needed to. Right? Yeah, I could probably. They got more facial hair than me nowadays, so.
Been there before. But he starts making friends, and the teachers and parents love him, and he's like acing all his classes. But as I said, what James really wants to do is run. And he's really good at it. I mean, he's a former state champion. Now, the school is still checking out his backstory while he attends. So he can't officially join the school's track team yet. But he does start training with them. And during training, James, he doesn't hold back. Like, he doesn't pretend to be at the level of the other runners. James fucking dominates. He kicks the shit out of them on the track.
Why are we sandbagging this hard, bro? I get it. I'm the sandbag king sometimes when it comes to stuff like this. I'd be like, well, no, this is smurfing. It's not sandbagging. It's smurfing. If he was sandbagging, he wouldn't be going hard like this. He's smurfing like crazy on these kids, and I have no idea why. I get it. You want to compete, but bro.
There happens to be a big cross-country race coming up,
nah, no
and
holds
James
barred.
wants
I
to
got
run
10
it
years
so
of athleticism
bad.
on you.
Now, he's not officially on the school's team. However, he is allowed to run the race with the other runners, but they tell him not to finish. Like, he's not allowed to officially win because, you know, he's not on the team. And the next thing you know, he is running that race, and he's trucking along, and soon enough, he's way ahead of the other runners. Next thing he knows, they're all way behind him, and instead of quitting the race at the last minute like he was instructed to do, James can't resist himself, and he crosses the finish line, and he comes in first place, beating all those teenagers. So now all eyes are on James, the big winner. But after the race, he doesn't report to the officials' table and claim his victory. So some sports reporters who are covering the race are like, well, that's weird. Who the hell is this kid? And one of those reporters starts asking around, and he gets James's name. But not his real name, the fake name he used to enroll in school. And so this reporter then calls up the local municipal office and asks if there's a birth certificate on file under this fake name. But here's the thing. When James adopted this fake name, he didn't just invent it out of thin air. He actually stole the identity of a random kid who happened to die as an infant. And so this dead kid whose name he's been using has an actual birth certificate on file. And so the municipal office tells the reporter, yeah, we have his birth certificate, and it says he died 2 days after birth. And the reporter is like, oh shit, he's a fraud. And he calls the school and he puts the story out there. And so the school confronts James, and James is forced to leave the school while they investigate. And so over the next couple of years, James, he just can't stop being a fraud. He keeps enrolling in these competitive long-distance races under fake names and beating a bunch of teenagers and winning the trophies.
Wait, I'm confused. Why doesn't he just enroll in a regular race, like for like an extracurricular, like triathlon, or there's plenty of them. There's like the Georgia Run Club that I've seen people be getting into. I'm sure like wherever he's living in California, right? No, he's in California. There's plenty of like run competitions out there, right? Ain't no way he's like, I have to compete at the high school level. For what? Is that the only way he can feel good about himself? That's the only way he can win?
And at one point, he even gets arrested for forging checks. But mostly, he drifts around with friends throughout the western United States, and he just bullshits people about where he's from and his credentials. But then,
Where is he
in
actually
1987, he gets a job working at this bike shop. And there, he steals $20,000 worth of bicycle equipment from his employer, and so bam, he gets caught, and he's arrested. Here's his
Why is he
mugshot.
moving like
And
this?
then old James gets sentenced to 5 years in prison. But here's where it gets
What?
really...
Why are we moving like this, bro? What? That doesn't even make sense. Why are we stealing smoke gear or skate gear and or biking gear and like enrolling in high school races? What's that one race? Anime, the school bike race anime? A couple of my friends love that jump. What is it called? What's that called? It's not Haikyuu. That's like the volleyball one, right? What is it called? Let me see. Bike anime. I tried to come up. I want to say do da da da, but no, that's the motorcycle thing. What is the biking anime? Alright, we're gonna search it. Yowamushi Pedal. Yeah, Yowamushi Pedal. That's it.
be crazy, because this is where he cons his way into an Ivy League school. So during those years when James was drifting around the western United States, he had been corresponding with a bunch of universities about being a student there. He was applying to colleges using yet another fake name. And one of those schools he applied to is Princeton University. And so James, he gives them like a wild bullshit backstory. He
Bro.
tells them he's a self-educated ranch hand from Utah who loves to read classic literature while he's tending to
Crazy.
his cattle. And also,
This man
supposedly,
just
James...
like running around life LARPing, bro. Like at this point, he didn't even have a solid identity or path in his life. Honestly, like if it aside from like the stealing part and like hurting random kids' prides and like prospects and stuff, he's not doing that much. Like honestly, he's living his best life, kind of. Honestly, I would be hot, I'm not gonna lie, if we had like track stars that were coming up and then like he's like blowing them out of the water and they miss their opportunities. They like go into a deep depression. They're like, am I washed? And then they start underperforming, and then like, granted, I don't think that's gonna happen, because like if it was gonna happen, it would have probably like happened at some point, and then I would have made them get better probably, but that's tough. What is he doing, bro?
has high SAT scores as well, and I don't know if he faked those scores or what, but regardless,
He probably
it
just
all
knows
works.
stuff.
The admins at Princeton love his story. It's so non-traditional, and it's just what they're looking for. And so in 1988,
Bro got it in
while he's
Princeton.
sitting in prison, he gets forwarded a letter from Princeton University
prison?
saying, congrats, you're admitted. You can start this fall.
Do they
But
not
of course,
communicate?
he can't start this fall because he's in prison.
How do they
So
not
he
know?
writes to the Princeton admins, and he claims that he needs to defer his enrollment by 1 year because his mother is dying in Switzerland
So
and he
people just
needs.
do zero due diligence back then, bro. That was actually the Wild West. Like, it's even funnier because he was actually in the West, but that was legitimately the Wild West. Like, no due diligence was done, like, where it was coming from, where it was sent to. How do you, like, go back and forth with somebody and not find out that they were in prison? They didn't even let the, like... Okay.
To go be with her.
Okay.
Of course, this is all bullshit. He doesn't have
Like,
a
I
mother in
imagine you have to
Switzerland.
know, like-
but Princeton believes it. And they're like, yeah.
You have to know, like, where it's going, right? If it's being mailed to him and then it gets sent to him, like, you see the address that it goes to and that it comes from, right? Am I crazy for that?
Sounds legit. So a year later, in
Why is he at the
1989,
prison, bro?
James is released from prison on parole. He
Well, we know
served
why
his
he's at the
time.
prison, but
So he
that's
gets
what they
out
should be
and
saying.
he goes from Utah straight over to New Jersey, where
Mm-hmm.
Princeton is, so that he can start attending. Which, leaving the state violates his parole, but whatever. He doesn't care. He's made it to Princeton, and the dude has also got financial aid, so he doesn't even have to pay for it. And so
Bro has a
James,
full
who's
ride
now 28 or
scholarship.
29 years old by this point, he's pretending to be a much younger
capping.
college freshman at Princeton. And pretty quickly, he starts making friends there, and everyone loves him, and he, of course, joins the track
What's his
team so that
actual
he can
story?
compete in long-distance running, and bro makes it all the way through his freshman year with this fake identity, and no one suspects a thing. Then it's 1991, and he's in his sophomore year now. And one day, he's at
Yo,
a track
pre
meet,
2000s,
getting
people were just doing whatever. That's honestly like how I view a lot of things in the world right now. Like pre 2000s, people were just doing whatever. Like they didn't care. Nothing was like regulated. Like they just kind of just threw up an idea and they're like, all right, bet. No regulation, no nothing. That's kind of how I view pre 2000s in a like a funny like weird worldly way.
ready to compete with all the other runners. And one student is just chilling there. And she's actually there to watch her friend compete in the race.
Okay.
But at some point, she sees James.
recognizes
And she's
him?
like, damn, that guy looks familiar. So she recognizes him
way.
because she went to high school with him back when he was first pretending to be 16 years old and dominating that high school track meet. And she's
Wait,
like,
that's funny because, like, yo, nah, that's hilarious because the time that he went to jail was the time that people in high school at that time would have actually been still be transitioning into the college age. And if they went to Princeton, that's hilarious. Oh, man.
is that the adult man who pretended to be a student at my high school? Is that the same guy? And this blows James's scam wide open. And she starts telling people, and eventually Princeton finds out, and they get the police involved. And so pretty quickly, police show up to one of James's classes, and bam, they arrest him
their
in
class.
class in front of everyone. How embarrassing. Here's his mugshot.
Do they have the footage?
But
Oh, no,
it's
they
still
don't.
not over for James because there's a professor who feels kind of bad for him, and he helps him make bail while James waits for his
Aw.
trial. And this professor also helps James move to Massachusetts.
What?
He then helps him get a job at Harvard Mineral Museum, helping
Whoa.
catalog minerals and gems and stuff like that.
That's nice
Which
of him.
sounds like legit steady work, and that this could be good for
he
him.
steal the
Like
gems
maybe he'll turn his
and try to
life
sell them?
around. But of course, James
Until.
screws it all up because that's the kind of guy he is. Shortly
Mm-hmm.
after he begins working there at the museum, he starts low-key stealing minerals and lab equipment from the place. And, you know, because he's an ex-con with a history of scamming people,
I knew
he
it.
becomes a prime suspect. So police, they go to his place and they search
They
his
find all
room
the
and they
gems.
find $50,000 worth of shit that he stole from the museum. And so he ends up serving 5 months for the fraud at Princeton. Then he serves 17 months for stealing all that stuff from the Harvard Mineral Museum. And since then, he appears to have been in and out of prison with all these fake identities all the way up through at least 2016. So he's like kind of still going as far as we know. Lesson
What?
not learned.
So he's just out here, right? He's just out here running crazy while people are rotting in jail for having like 2 ounces of weed. But I digress. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Bye. Oh wait, I forgot a comment. Hold on. There we go. There we go. All right. Bye.